mics. Or the mics aren't on. Ah, there we go. Okay, so this 2K egg has been on 1 point. It's on 1 point. Okay, it says it's hatched. Okay, so that egg says it's hatched. It's been on 1.9 since, I don't know, can you see that house down there? That house, since like that house. Oh, okay, so yeah, it's ready now. It's just, sometimes I think that this thing is not entirely super accurate, but also at the same time, I don't think it actually records like if you run and then you run back, like until it catches up, like you lose a big portion of your run. So, we're gonna hatch this, then I have something very ironic I need to talk about, but I'm gonna get a drink of water first. So let's hatch this. I'm watching it in the screen, real time with you guys. Oh, come on. It was a 2K, it was a 2K. Can't complain, I mean you can't complain, but. Oh, guys, look at this. I dropped some Powerade right here yesterday, and like, look at all these ants. Oh my gosh. Oh, what is up, everybody? I stepped on something sharp. How is it going today? I hope it is going fan-freaking-tastic for you. So the thing I wanted to mention, and it's a little bit of a story. So, you know, sit back, grab the popcorn and some water, because sometimes you choke on that popcorn. At least I do. And it'll get stuck in your teeth. Grab the floss also, because you know there's going to be kernels stuck like in between your teeth and the back, and it's going to be bothering you until you get it out. So here's the story. Do you remember last vlog when I was like all complaining and being all stupid, like, oh, I feel bad for me because I never caught a wild squirtle? I have yet to see a wild squirtle roaming the streets. I just have not seen it. So yesterday, I was in Du Bois. Now, a quick backstory, a quick side note that is pertinent. There's a cricket. And it's really, like, throwing me off. Because, like, I feel like the story I'm telling is not as interesting as it is. Ignore the cricket. This is a cool story. So, in Du Bois, there is a place. It's called The Wall. It's called The Nest. People call it different things. I've heard it called those two things. I call it The Nest. Or The Wall. I call it both things. So what it is, it's literally like a sidewalk with like a wall you can sit on, that if you sit there, you can legit get 4 Pokestops. 4 is the most that I've ever seen, as in you're standing here, you can get all 4 Pokestops, and then once they come back, you don't need to move, you can get all 4 again. It's really convenient, and the place, there's always somebody there. Now, I will say this legit, I've been there many times, I have never not seen somebody at the wall. Also, probably 18 hours out of the day, it is lured. And there's always Pokemon, there's always people. It's a really cool place if you play Pokemon Go. Now, so I was there yesterday, and I was talking to this guy. He was like 31, he was really cool. We were just talking about different stuff in life, you know, just talking about different Pokemons that we got. And he was like, okay, well, I'm going to head out. I was like, yeah, I didn't bring a charger or anything. I need to head out too, because, like, when your phone dies, you can't actually catch the invisible things. So about 4 hours later, about 3.5, 4 hours later, I was coming out of Sheetz, which is just like it's like a restaurant, gas station, convenience store type thing. This is a really cool place. Like, if you know what Sheetz is, you probably like it. I was coming out of Sheetz. I didn't even have Pokemon open. I was just walking out. I got some food, and this car swings by, like, really close to me. And and it was that guy that I was talking to earlier in the day at the wall. And he rolls down his window. He's like, "Are you looking for it?" And I'm like, "Looking for what?" And he's like, "The Blastoise." I was like, "What?" So I grabbed out my phone. I looked. There's a bam, Black Shadow Blastoise just looming around. He's like, "Jump in." So I jump in his car. We're driving around. I'm like, "It's the third one. We're getting further away." He's like, "Okay, it's the second one now." And then, out of nowhere, just in the middle of the street, on a back road at 8:30 at night, Blastoise appeared. And we both caught it on the second try. So I'm here complaining about Squirtle. And little do I know, within 24 hours, I will have caught a Blastoise. Now, the problem I'm having with Blastoise right now is, like, it's not, like, super high CP. So I'm like, do I use my candies and, like, power it up, or do I try and like evolve my Squirtle and evolve it again, try and maybe get something a little bit better? Not sure on that, but that's my story. It was really freaking cool. Alright, so I just got a phone call. I special ordered some DVD cases from Staples a couple days ago, and because they don't really make DVD, or they make them, they just don't have them in store anymore because nobody ever buys them. Off to go to Staples right now because I got a phone call that they showed up, so...
We never travel to exotic lands. We only ever really visit friends.
Actually, I got this idea when I was inside of Staples, but it's gonna involve red spray paint. So luckily, Walmart is right beside Staples. We're gonna go get some red spray paint. So the drone has a return home button that I can hit and it will return to where it takes off. The idea is to build a helipad to take off, hit the home button, and see how accurately it lands on the helipad. Goal right now is to find a board that we can spray paint gray to act as the helipad. And then when I was in Walmart, I actually looked this up. Helipads aren't red. There's nothing red on them. They're actually a yellow circle with a white duct tape. White duct tape. Real helipads aren't duct tape. With a white H in the middle of it. Alright, quick update. This isn't working as I thought it would. Alright, so I found this. Now, I'm assuming it's paint. No one, I don't think, is going to use this paint ever, because it's more like Play-Doh. I just got done stirring it for a really long time. So, just for clarifications, what we're actually doing is that board is so dry that it's just absorbing the spray paint, and it's not going to look like anything. Like, I'm going to use the whole bottle of spray paint, and like, you're not even going to be able to tell that it's gray. It's going to look like a brown-grayish mix. So, I'm going to use this green paint to just like put a nice thick coat down, let that dry, and then spray paint on top of it so the spray paint actually stays. Like I said, nobody on earth is going to be like, look at this! Nobody is going to be using this to paint anything. That's the truth. I mean, actually that's not the truth, because I'm going to be using it right now to paint something. So while the paint is drying, I'm going to be making myself some lunch with some corn. Another day, another cob. Whenever I was a kid and we would have sweet corn, my parents always made me husk it. That's what, when you take the green off of the corn, it's called husking. And I remember being a kid and feeling like husking a piece of corn took like 10 minutes a piece. It legitimately takes like 10 seconds. I don't know why it took so long for me when I was a child. Hey! So, since the drone has been an obvious large portion of these last couple of vlogs, I decided, while I eat lunch, a very late lunch by the way, let's do a Snapchat Q&A about the drone. Now, I know last time I had a general Q&A and nobody asked any questions, and I know a lot of you guys, a couple of you guys actually have asked questions I'm going to answer once we do a real Q&A, but this is specifically a drone Q&A.
ain't never getting old.
I have literally made a complete and utter. Look at this. Do you see this? Look at all this. This is from me eating. That is from me eating. My mother would be very disappointed. All right, so let's see if we got any snap, crackles, or pops. Ooh, looks like we do have some cues. All right, so question 1 from Brianna. She asks, is it flyer than me? Brianna, you know you're fly, but you know I'm gonna have to side with the drone on this one. The drone is flyer than Brianna. Mark, what does he ask? It's a picture, so I need to make sure I'm paying attention so I read it. How much does it cost? What is it? I'm just gonna screenshot this. I get panicked. I panic. All right. So Mark asks, how much does the drone cost? I bought that one at Best Buy for, with tax, in Ohio. I think it was $1,260. So if you live in another country, I don't know what that would translate to. How is it on battery life? That is actually a very good question. It says 23 minutes, and that is a very accurate statement if you don't move. If you're driving around, going really high, going really low, doing a lot of turns, it really is more like 16 minutes. Favorite thing about it? My favorite thing about the Phantom 4 is the camera. Because I had when DJI first made the very first Phantom, I bought it. And you had to mount a GoPro. Like, they didn't have cameras on it, and there was no gimbal, there was nothing. And it was really novel, and it was really cool, and it was very impractical. And the Phantom 4 has a 4K camera, and it's the first time I think that, like, a drone is worth buying. Like, even the 3, I was borderline gonna get the 3, but I was like, it's really not worth it. But the 4 is definitely worth it. So my favorite thing is the camera / gimbal. And he has more questions. How loud is it when you fly? It's like, I'll put it like this. It's like a vacuum cleaner, a sweeper. In this sense, like, if I took a vacuum cleaner outside, like out here, and I turned it on, no one would say it's loud. But if you're in the bathroom, like, doing number 2, and I go in there and turn on the vacuum cleaner, you're gonna be like, what are you doing? This is so loud. So it's like that type of loud. If like you're in a big open space, it's really not that loud at all. How well does it hover return home? Ha ha ha! That is a very good question, because we're gonna test the return home function literally in a couple of minutes, or today. And it flies extremely well. Mark, those were awesome questions. And I also like your shoes. Cool shoes. Alright, so this question is from Ryan. Fun fact, I actually went to high school with Ryan. Vlog question. What's the name of your drone? Ben Brown's is Mr. Zoomy. Your dear friend from high school, he remembers me. And that he validated my statement wasn't a lie. Who you don't really see because life. That is true. I don't think I've seen Ryan since high school, to be honest. I really haven't seen that many people since high school, though. We should get together sometime soon. Seriously. But to answer the question is, there is no name yet. That's a genius idea. I want you guys watching this right now, throw some suggestions. You know, I'm not saying I'm gonna pick them. I'm just saying throw some suggestions. Cause I instantly got that like fear when you have to name a dog, and you're like, I don't know. At least that's me. So we're not gonna jump on any names real quick. I'm not even letting my brain think about it. I just want to hear some of your suggestions and let it happen. That's a good question, and that's an important question, because that does need answered. Ashton has a question. My Canadian friend. COOOO. Ashton, I have no idea what you mean. Alright guys, that was an awesome Q&A. I have to say, you guys had some really awesome questions. So now, let's go finish the helipad and see how the return home actually does work.
Remember asking both my we ain't never getting older. No, we ain't never getting older.
Very quick disclaimer before we even jump into the test. I was just looking at the radar. We've got some serious rain that's going to be here very quickly. I have 2 cameras, 2 tripods, a drone in the middle of a pipeline. Not exactly the closest thing to shelter. So I was originally going to do 3 separate tests. We're only going to do 1. And that is strictly, like I mentioned before, the Phantom 4 has a home button where you can hit it and it will land right where it took off. So that is what we're gonna test. But the thing is, every smart drone operator obeys by one set of rules. And that is safety first. Alright, so there I am. Hey, you can see my hard hat. That's kind of the idea also. It's starting to sprinkle already. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do a quick fly. Because it's already getting windy, it's starting to sprinkle. Try not to hit any trees. You wanna get semi-far away. Really try not to hit any trees. Okay. First of all, can we, oh yeah, there's the rain. There's the rain. All right, so we are 245 feet away. I would honestly go a lot further. I just don't want all my equipment to get wet. See, I'm nervous. Guys, I'm nervous. So what we're gonna do, you tap the home button and then you hit it again.
Go home.
So now the drone has been told to go home. So what we're gonna do is just wait and see if this drone actually lands on the helipad like it is supposed to do. Now I do have this set to fly to a certain altitude, go straight and then down. Just because there's a lot of hills where I live, I don't want it to hit a tree. So it looks like we're coming back. Ooh, we see it up there. Now this is almost like, this is in the instance where you lose communication or something bad happens. You can hit home and it will land if your camera goes out and you're a mile away and you're I don't know how to get home. You can hit this button and hopefully land it where you took off. Granted, it is probably gonna come down very close. I just wanna see how precise it is. So far, judging by this, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty accurate. Ooh, it might be off a little bit. It's doing pretty good. Oh, just shy. Just shy of the actual takeoff spot. I would say literally just inches away from actually touching the golden circle. Now I would say if that was a real helicopter, he would probably get a fine or something.
remember